Hey everybody, it's Scott here, aka Commander Poisonberry, playing a little bit of Elite Dangerous today. And I haven't posted a video in a while, and I thought I would touch base with where I currently am. I'm out here in the middle of nowhere, in the Crescent sector of the game, kind of working my way around the perimeter. And I wanted to talk about exploration. So that's primarily what I do inside the game, and the new Engineers update, for instance, really doesn't affect me much, because I don't plan to go back to the bubble anytime soon. I've been out for about 6 months or so, and haven't really touched base literally since then. So where I am today is sitting on a planet surface, and typically when I log off at the end of a session, I usually land on a surface and stay there. I know I've done the same thing in space before, but I feel a little more safe being on the surface when I leave. I was a little concerned when the update came out and some of the sectors containing nebula were marked as needing permission to land, and I was a little concerned I might be in one of those places, but luckily I was not. Anyway, I wanted to start a series working on exploration strategy, and a little bit different or more advanced, I should say, than some of the other ones I've seen, which are based more on the picturesque nature of things. I want to go more into kind of the technical or how-to of what I do when I get down here. So I think the first one I'm going to start with is going to be identification of the planets that are in the system that are worth your time. Now, I'm not going to spoil everything and give you all the information because as with my other videos, I love the exploration aspect of the game, and I think giving you too much is a disservice. So let's talk about this system, and I'm going to use this as an example. Now, in order to do what I'm going to show you here, you are going to have to make some changes to your settings. So go into your options, go into your audio, and basically these are the ways that I have everything set up right now. So you'll notice that we have the menu music is off, docking computer, starport, all these exploration music is off. Stellar cartography music is on. And so just to give you a general idea of how I have these set up, and I'll show you why. So if we go in and look at the system, the music is still going to play, albeit not the full roar of music. But we get some of this delicate little thing going on. And you'll get used to listening to it, but I want to show you something is when you hover over a planet, you hear that kind of sheen, it's like a shining, we'll hear it again. So I move off, move back on. So I can't describe it, it's kind of like a whine. Oop, zoomed in a little too far. Don't zoom in too far. Find the happy medium here, people, come on. Anyway, so when you click on the planet, you hear that shine, kind of like a whine in the background. And notice as I click in these planets, it isn't restarting. So it indicates these planets are all the same type. So let's try one that isn't. Let's try this one. Nope, that's also heavy metal. What's this one? Okay, so that one's more of a rush sound. Whine. And again, you cannot block out, you got to kind of learn to block out the music that's playing in the background. But just listen for the initial sound. So, high metal content planet. Another type of high metal content planet. Now, we heard that, again, that whine, high metal content planet. This one has like a bubbling. Let me get off it again here. Very subtle. But this one? High metal content planet. So my guess is this is an ammonia world or a water world. Now those two have each planet type has several different sounds that it makes. And I almost consider it cheating that you can do this in the game, but it's a matter of fact what it is. Let's try these. Oh, keep doing that. Sorry about that. So here, like almost like a wintry whoosh kind of sound. These are all ice planets. How about this one? Whoosh sound, again, ice planet. Now, these big ones, gas giants, have, again, a variety of different sounds they make. Depending on the sound, it can give you a hint as to whether it's a class 1, 2, 3, or whether that was life or not. But there's so many different sounds that each one of these makes that you kind of have to learn just by ear. Again, I scan all the gas giants anyway because they're worth enough money in exploration credits that they're worth it. But these little ice balls here all make that same whoosh sound, or similar whoosh sounds. These are all ice balls. There's no reason to land on them, in my opinion. They're worth next to nothing. Now, that's not to say that they can be worth something. Well, how about this one? So I would guess that one is a probably an ice one. Just got a different sound to it. Yeah, every so often I'm surprised by a sound that I hear, but most of these planets, they sound exactly the same. You get that whine. If there is a planet near a sun, and I can't really tell you the exact distance as portrayed this way, often that can indicate one that may be eligible for terraforming, even if it's an ice ball or other type of planet. So oftentimes the planets that are worth investigating are in the first, say, 800 or 1,000 light seconds. Even if they are just simply ice balls, I would check them out just for terraforming capability. But I wanted to kind of give you an idea as to that you can get a hint as to what the planet is simply by hovering over it. All these high mineral content planets make that same whine sound. And then this ammonia world here. Or, I mean, this is another high metal content. This is the ammonia one, right? Nope. That's high metal content. This one. That's probably a water world. I would bet that's a water world. Should we find out? Let's go find out. Let's prove my point. Of course, I picked the farthest place away. As I said, I don't have any plans to get back into the bubble anytime soon, so I like the exploration aspects of the game. Although I'm getting somewhat bored with the planets all being kind of the same thing. There isn't really any variation. I mean, there's some, but they're all just texture maps and bump maps. There's no caves, there's no things like that, which is what I would love to see. I'm sure they're working on it. But as soon as No Man's Sky comes out, I'm pretty much going to not be playing this game for a while until there are some major changes. Sorry, I have a little bit of a cold here. Bad day to make a video. I know. It's just been a while. Just trying to get away from the planet's surface here. Get speed. I might take some time and take my exploration data back to Felicity at some point and get some FSD upgrades, but part of me is actually thinking I should hold on to the data for a while. Given that I'm still pretty far from the bubble and don't have any plans to return anytime soon, since they're making tweaks to the code and the reward system, maybe I'll wait and see what, maybe the reward will be better later. Especially once they get the random number generation thing kind of straightened out a bit. So let's go see what kind of planet this is. So we're betting for a water world, based on the sound effect. The graphics are somewhat telling. You know, you can use the picture to kind of identify, but I found that in general there are so many different pictures for those different types of planets. You never know. And of course you can land on it. We already know it's only one type of planet, or I should say it's only one of a couple types of planets. You know, the high metal, the rock, or the icy. None of which are really worth that much. I mean, the high metal is worth most of those, but those water worlds, earth lakes, ammonia worlds, those are the ones you really want to find. And rather than going and scanning every unlandable ball in a system, you could quickly identify whether or not that should be something you should be investigating. By the way, when I'm flying into systems like this, once you get to a scannable distance, which will vary based on a lot of variables, the size of the item you're approaching, its type, and so on, you can actually stop and scan it from that distance and then kick back up into speed again without having the entire slowdown and speed up process again. I'll demonstrate here in a moment, because we're not going to be able to land on this planet anyway, and there's a few others here that we haven't discovered, or I should say scanned. I do have an advanced discovery scanner set, and I did scan the system, which is how I see what's here. Just going full throttle here until we get about 7 seconds out, then I'll back it out so we don't fly by it. So, okay, so we're at scannable distance. I'm just going to come to zero halt. Zero throttle, I should say. The anticipation. And it's Waterworld. Okay, so that worked. So it definitely is a Waterworld and definitely worth my time, and I identified that from the sound. So from here, let's pick the next closest planet that is unexplored. And get that in my sights. Now, from a dead stop here, I can speed right back up, and you see we're already into factors of speed. Well, unfortunately, about this point, my video gave out, and I lost the rest of the video capture. So, what happened was I basically just scanned the next planet. But the secret to that entire thing is to get as close as you need to scan the planet, stop, and then point toward your next destination. Do the same thing. You get back up to speed much faster than getting caught in the gravitational well or getting close to one of those planets or suns. Makes your speed up process much slower. So, to quickly scan a system, don't have to get close to any of the bodies, just close enough to do the scanning, and you'll be good to go. So hopefully this was helpful, and it's how I am quickly scanning a lot of these sectors and getting in and out with the high-value planets only. Now if I'm on an adventure looking for picturesque things, that's a completely different story and something I'll cover later. But hopefully this was helpful. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments below, and I'll see you next time.